Well, hi everybody. I'm back, whether you like it or not. It's been too long. It's been 3 months, almost 3 months, I think. But life has happened, and but I'm back now. Better late than never. So I wanted to just go through some life updates. Maybe that'll explain a little bit about my absence for a while. In Oh God, I can't remember now. When was the New Jersey retreat? April? May? May. It was in May. I went to the New Jersey retreat, and so I was gone for about 5 days. I went in early and stayed a day late because I was flying all the way from Arizona. So it was wonderful. And I'm not going to go into all the details and stuff because everybody else has already done that, but I wanted to specifically thank Arlene and McKenna for all of their fabulous work on this retreat. The hotel was great. They were all very accommodating. The restaurants were good, and it was really nice, even though I didn't have a car, which I'm really glad I didn't rent a car. Oh my Lord, it was worth the taxi fare. Um, there were restaurants that were right near, and everybody who had a car was so gracious to take people to Needleworkers Delight or to restaurants or malls or drugstores, whatever we needed. Everyone was so kind and willing to help out, especially Letitia and oh, what was her name? What was her name? Oh, shoot. And I sat next to her at dinner. She was there with her boyfriend. And her boyfriend was so good humored. He drove everybody everywhere and he sat in Silk Weavers for hours while we shopped. It wasn't Becky. I'm sorry. You know who you are. I'm sorry I've forgotten your name. But everybody was just wonderful. I met some great new people, and I met some people that I knew online and from Flosstube but had never actually met in real life. So that was all quite exciting. Um, yeah, so it was great. I'm really glad I went, and I'm very excited that I snagged a spot for the Arizona Stitch Fest next year that Arlene is putting on. So, which is even better because it's only like 2 hours from my house. So I'm looking forward to meeting new folks there. If you're going, get in touch with me and we'll chat. So that's about all I'm going to say about New Jersey. I do have some stash that I got from Needleworkers Delight / Silkweaver. So I'll go through that in a little bit. I think that so I did that, and then when I got home, as most of you know, I think, our little girl Princess, our little black kitty, has been sick off and on for the last year probably, and we finally had to make the decision that she wasn't getting any better. They found a mass of some kind in her stomach area, and it was quite large. So, and her being already 13, we were really ready to put her through a bunch of surgeries and stuff. So on June 8th, we took her in, and they did their thing. And yeah, we miss her a lot. So that's why you won't be seeing her anymore, but hopefully in a month or two, we'll be getting a new kitty. Um, we're going on vacation in the middle of August, so we're not going to do anything until after we get home. And then On July 2nd, which just happened to be my birthday, I had a dentist appointment up in Tucson, which is about an hour away, and had to have a tooth removed back here, which was no problem. We knew where it was coming. We tried to save the tooth and all that. It didn't work. So I had the tooth removed, but the chair was really uncomfortable to get in and out of. And I could really feel like I pulled something when I got out of the chair. By the time I got home, I could barely stand up. My whole back and one hip side was just burning. So I went to, hubby dragged me to the emergency room. That was a Monday. Tuesday morning, they took x-rays. Nothing, no fractures, nothing came up on x-rays. They sent me home with muscle relaxers and pain pills, and which did help a little bit, but I spent about 4 or 5 days in bed pretty much constantly. And how do you people with chronic pain do that? I mean, it's only been, what, 3 weeks. I don't know how people, oh my God, my hat is off to you people. How do you do that? Because it's only been 3 weeks, like I said, and I'm getting out and about now. I'm going to physical therapy, and he's given me some exercises and stretches that are really helping. And I'm not on very many of the pain meds anymore. I'm trying to make do with just Tylenol. But boy, I don't know how people with chronic pain do it. I don't. Hats off to you. You have my utmost sympathy and respect for what you go through every single day. So that's what I've been doing. Part of the problem with the back problem is that I can't get comfortable in a chair, and I can't sit in my stitching chair. So I can't stitch on anything that's on my stand. And I've gone through every chair in the house. At one point I had 5 different chairs in my craft room here, trying them out, trying heat, trying ice. The physical therapist gave me like a beach ball thing to put on my back, and that does help actually. It's only, hold on, let me get it. Let me show you. It's barely blown up. This is it. So it doesn't look like it's blown up at all. He put like a half a breath into it, but it's just enough that I can put it back here, and it gives me some extra support. So when we go on vacation next month, this thing is going in my carry-on because I've got about a 5-hour flight, and they serve Mai Tais at 7:30 in the morning, so we should be good. But yeah, that's something people with any back problems or support problems might want to try. It's just barely blown up. That's all it was. He said it was like a half a breath that he took. So there's my little back pain tip. So I haven't been stitching too much. I've been doing some smalls and stuff on hoops that I can move around the house, and I can switch in and out of chairs. So I will, I've got all that stuff set up, and I'll show you that shortly. But let's go through my fair results. Our fair was in April? March or April. I entered 5 items, 3 cross-stitch things and 2 knitting things, and I think I did fairly well, but I want to talk a little bit about their judging after I show you what I got. So let's start with the knitting ones. This is a lace shawl that I did, And it's kind of like a sampler shawl. All the different, it's got different stitches all the way down. And a little bit of beads on the corners. There you can see some of, each corner has a little bead in it. Not a lot of beading. Now that I look at it, I could have added more, but too late now. And I got let go. They did up really nice ribbons. Here we go. Blue ribbon for that. Where am I going to put everything? Over here. And then the other knitted item I did was another little shawl. It's got 3 different colors in it. That's the right side. It's got the blue and a real dark gray, and then the purple at the bottom. And that was, again, a kind of a sampler type thing with different stitches in it. Lovely yarn. This was yarn, wool mice yarn from Germany, and they have wonderful, wonderful yarns. And I also got a blue ribbon for that one. Then the other cross-stitch items that I did, I think I showed you all these before, but let's do it again, was Esther's Waves. I know you can't from here see, I'm sorry about the shadows and the glare and stuff, but all the beads in that, I think it's roughly, I've got to write that on the back of it, but I think it was roughly 4,000 beads in this. And that one was, stay there, another blue ribbon. And then the last, second to last was my medieval town, which is humongous and heavy. So there we go. There you can see most of it. And that one also got a blue ribbon. I was very pleased about that one. My only problem with that is that they mounted it and showed it way, way in the back in the corner, and I'll bet you half of the people didn't even bother to go back there and see it. And it was right next to the piece, which was a full coverage. It wasn't a Haid, I don't think, but it was a full coverage piece that won Best in Show, and I'll bet you people didn't even see it because it was way back in a corner. And then the last item I entered was my 12 Days of Christmas pillow, which I am actually very proud of. I think it was the first pillow I had ever done, and the finishing, I mean, it's not fancy or anything. I could have probably put like little tassels or lace or something around it, but I was really happy with this. Second place. With no input. And that's part of the thing that bothered me a little bit. So let's just talk about this briefly for a minute. In case you haven't entered anything in a fair before, each county fair has their own way of judging. There's basically 2 different types of judging: the American system and what's called the Danish system of judging. The American system is really what we're used to. You compete against the other pieces in your category, and there's a first, there's a second, third, maybe a best in show, depending on the category and how many pieces are entered. And they compete against each other. And that's kind of what we're used to. With the Danish system of judging, I pulled this off the interwebs, each exhibit, let me just read that, is based upon established standards of quality and is judged according to how well it meets the standard rather than how it compares with other items in the same category. Normally, this is used for juniors, for kids, and for 4-H. because it gives more ribbons are awarded, it gives the kids more incentive, and to enter again, I totally understand that. So the guidelines that they judge are appearance, condition of work, execution of work, suitability of materials, color harmony, that kind of thing. So all three of my cross-stitch pieces were in the same category. And I got 2 blue ribbons and a second place. Both of my knitting pieces were in the same category, and I got 2 blue ribbons. Because neither of these categories had a great deal of entries, only the cross-stitch one had a best in show. You have to, in our fair, you have to have a certain number of entries to be able to have a best in show awarded. So, and I guess I'm more competitive than I thought, because I'm not sure that I like that. I'm not sure that, I think I might rather be judged against the other entries. And the other thing was, with the second place one with the pillow, I got no feedback. So I have no idea why it was not up to the blue ribbon standards. So I don't know. And they don't tell you who the judges are either, or what their qualifications are to judge. So I don't know whether the people who judged the artwork, there was some fabulous artwork, whether those are the same people that judge the knitting, or the people that judge the knitting are the same ones that judge the baked goods. I don't know. And they don't tell. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to enter again. I'll have to wait and see next year. I sure would like one of those best in show ribbons, though. I might have to give that another shot. We'll see. Anyway, that's my little rant about county fairs. And each county is different. I know because I was looking on the computer, and there's a couple of them in California specifically where they use the American judging system, and that's what I'm used to, because when I entered in California, when I lived there, that's what they did. And when I got a blue ribbon, it was a blue ribbon. It was compared to the other items that were in the same category. So we will wait and see. We'll see what we do. So I'm going to stop real quick and put this stuff away so I have a little bit more room, and I'll be right back.